Will robots change our future lives? Of course they will. Read these predictions.
A.
A recent article suggested that when the cost and inconvenience of travelling rises, we will start using robots to go out into the world for us. It will become possible to rent a robot to do our shopping or check out a hotel that we're thinking of staying at. We might, for example, spend an afternoon sitting in bed with a computer, controlling a robot through a shopping centre in Beijing. Using live video and audio, we'll talk to shop assistants and buy things. We won't need to go anywhere. In the future, we'll use robots, not TV or the internet, to take us to the world.
B.
Robotics may also change the way people work. A new idea is to design robots that can perform routine jobs such as being a cleaner or a security guard, while they are controlled by a person in a different country. Imagine having a robot cleaner in a big company in Japan, controlled by an operator in Thailand or Vietnam. It will create jobs in developing countries.
C.
Surgeons already use robots to carry out operations, and scientists have developed the PillCam, a tiny robot that can travel through our bodies and take pictures. In the near future, we will see biological robots, microbots, used in medicine. Scientists are developing ways of taking out the insides of a bacterial cell and replacing them with robot technology. As a result, they hope to create a robot the size of a human cell that can travel through the human body, identifying and sorting out problems.
Imagine that you could see into the future, Professor, to the year 2055. What do you think life will be like then? Will it be very different from now?
Well, it won't be very different. We'll still think and feel the same. But you can see changes that are starting now which will definitely have an effect on life in the future. Take travel, for example. We won't have any more cheap oil, gas or petrol by 2055, but that won't stop us from moving around. We'll use a new form of energy, hydrogen from seawater. It'll be clean and safe, and it'll solve the energy crisis.
Interesting. What about space? Will we live in space?
Well, we have the technology now to live in space. But it won't happen in my lifetime because it's too expensive. Spaceships cost millions of euros. However, by 2055, we'll build a space lift.
A space lift?
Yes, a lift or elevator that can go up from the Earth into space. In 2055, we'll get into a lift and press up, and it'll go all the way up to the moon or a space station.
Wow! Is that really possible?
Well, yes, but we'll have to invent a very, very strong, very, very light material to build the lift. Personally, I think we'll invent it.
And will we be healthier and live longer, do you think?
Well, that's an interesting question. The fact is, we'll eat better food, and we won't smoke or work in dirty factories, which means we will live longer. It will be possible for people to live to the age of 90 or 100. The aging process will change. We will slow down or even stop aging.
Really?
Yes. Physically, our bodies will stop aging at 30 years. Our grandchildren will be 60, 80, or even 110 and still look 30.
That's amazing.
Yes, it is.
I know you like new technologies. Well, the other day I listened to a really interesting interview with a professor who was saying that in the future, oil will be much more expensive, so we'll have to rely on new fuel sources like hydrogen. I totally agree with that prediction. According to the professor, we still won't live in space by 2055, but we'll be able to leave Earth with a spacelift. That idea seems like science fiction to me. Another interesting prediction he makes is that we'll all live longer, maybe to 130. I can imagine people living that long. But the question is, will we want to?
Life changes. A. Greg.
I found it very difficult to be instantly wealthy overnight. However, the first thing I did was to buy a Porsche, pay off the house, and take my family to Australia. Then we moved into a bigger house in a new area, and of course we started losing contact with old friends as we met new people. Then I found it quite difficult to find trustworthy financial advisors. It's hard to believe, but I miss my old life and even my old job. It's a big change that happens very quickly, not gradually.
B. Lena.
So far, it's been an amazing experience. The locals are very friendly, the food is delicious, and the climate is ideal. At first, I was very worried about how we were going to adapt to our new life, but that hasn't been a problem. However, it has been difficult to keep in touch with old friends and family. The time difference makes it impossible to Skype, and social networks aren't the same as being with a person. Not many people can afford to come to visit us, so I feel a bit cut off from the world. The hardest part was leaving my old job. I'm still trying to find a new one.
C. Matthew. I was completely shocked. I had no idea that she wasn't happy in our marriage. My life has changed completely. I miss her company, especially eating together and going places together. The house is a disaster, and I'm not taking care of myself. I look scruffy, and I've lost weight. I am trying to convince my wife to go and see a marriage counsellor to see if we can work things out. To this day, I do not know what went wrong. So, Dr. Lee, let's turn to the future of films. Do you think that films will change in the future?
Oh, definitely. The technology is changing more quickly than at any time in history. We already have 3D technology, even 4D, for example, and more films are using it.
So do you think that one day soon, ordinary 2D films will seem old-fashioned?
Well, it's hard to say. In my opinion, filmmakers will continue to make 2D films, but the majority of movies will be in 3D. All the big Hollywood action movies, for example, will be in 3D.
What about actors? Will they be better in the future than they are now?
Well, it's interesting you should ask about actors. What actors? I expect that we won't actually have any actors in the future.
Really?
Yes, computer technology will get better and better. Filmmakers will generate actors who look real and put in performances which are better than anything a real actor can do. I think the day of the film star is over.
What about Hollywood? Do you think it will continue to be the biggest producer of films?
Funny you should say that, but it isn't the biggest even now. A lot more films are made in India, and together African countries, particularly Nigeria, make more films than the Americans. I don't think this will change. In fact, I think both China and India will continue to make a lot more films than Hollywood.
OK. Well, thanks for your predictions, Dr. Lee. I look forward to finding out if they come true.
So, exactly what is the International Space Group? It sounds very much like science fiction to me.
Well, we're real, and we're already making plans. We are working with a major international airline and other companies to make tourism in space a reality.
Really? So, how is that going to happen?
Well, one day there will be regular flights into space. At first, people will be happy to just go round the Earth taking photos for a day or two, but soon space tourists will want something more interesting to do. That's why we're going to open a 5-star hotel in space. It'll be a huge complex with top-class French and Italian restaurants, conference facilities, and a business centre. Hopefully, it'll attract business people as well as families and regular tourists.
It sounds amazing.
It will be. We're going to build a sports arena in the complex.
A sports arena? So do you imagine that you'll have major sports events there one day?
Well, never say never, but I don't expect that'll happen. It won't be for football or golf or anything like that. We're going to have zero-gravity sports. You know, people will play tennis in spacesuits, floating in space. It'll be a fantastic experience.
So, when will this happen?
Well, not for a while yet. One of our partners, the airline, hopes to start space flights in the next 10 years, but it'll probably be 20 years from now before our complex is open. It'll definitely happen, though. We aren't the only company interested in opening a hotel in space. In the future, we think this will be a very competitive sector of the tourist industry. Let's face it, everybody will want to fly to the moon.